This wasn't merely a clash of armies in muddy trenches. It wasn't just fought with bayonets and barbed wire. World War I was also a financial war, fought in gold vaults, in stock exchanges, in secret offices far from the battlefield. While soldiers paid in blood, bankers and governments calculated balance sheets. The choices they made didn't just decide who won, they reshaped the global economy for the next century. Because this war proved one devastating truth: money is a weapon, and one of the deadliest ever invented. This wasn't merely a clash of armies in muddy trenches. It wasn't just fought with bayonets and barbed wire. World War I was also a financial war, fought in gold vaults, in stock exchanges, in secret offices far from the battlefield. While soldiers paid in blood, bankers and governments calculated balance sheets. The choices they made didn't just decide who won, they reshaped the global economy for the next century. Because this war proved one devastating truth: money is a weapon, and one of the deadliest ever invented. Isolated by blockade, Germany couldn't borrow abroad, so it turned inward, to its citizens. War bonds became a patriotic mission. Posters declared, "Your money will bring victory." Ordinary families invested everything. Over 100 billion marks were raised through sheer faith in victory. But when defeat came, those bonds became worthless paper. Millions of savers lost their life's work. That collective betrayal carved deep scars into Germany's psyche. Economic despair became the seedbed for extremism and for the dark future that followed. Britain had one priceless advantage: the trust of the world. The City of London was still the financial hub of the planet, but the war devoured wealth faster than any empire could sustain. Desperate, Britain turned to the United States. Though officially neutral, Wall Street saw opportunity. J.P. Morgan and Company became the banker of the Allies, arranging loans, buying weapons, controlling supply chains. By the time America entered the war in 1917, its bankers had already financed victory. And when the dust settled, the U.S. had replaced Britain as the world's financial master. The global balance of power had shifted, not through armies, but through accounts. France entered the war already weakened, carrying debts from past conflicts. Its citizens bought bonds out of duty, but real funding came from across the Atlantic. Russia's finances were even more fragile. Though rich in resources and gold, it lacked industry and infrastructure. The Tsar's government printed money and borrowed desperately, but inflation devoured the ruble. As the front collapsed, so did the economy. By 1917, hunger and bankruptcy ignited revolution. The fall of the Romanovs wasn't just political, it was financial implosion made visible. When the guns fell silent in 1918, Europe was shattered, not only in body but in balance sheets. The Allied nations had spent over $140 billion. The Central Powers, half that amount. The gold was gone, the debts insurmountable. The United States now held the world's gold, and its IOUs. Britain owed billions, France even more. To pay back their citizens, the Allies demanded reparations from Germany, 132 billion gold marks. It was fantasy. Germany printed money to pay, and the mark became worthless. By 1923, a loaf of bread cost billions. Wheelbarrows of cash couldn't buy dinner. It wasn't just hyperinflation, it was humiliation. And humiliation has a long memory. In the 1920s, the global economy turned into a revolving door. American banks lent money to Germany. Germany paid reparations to Britain and France. They repaid America. A perfect illusion of stability built on circular logic. Then came 1929. The Great Depression shattered the loop. Loans dried up, currencies collapsed, and the entire system fell like dominoes. The financial world had never been so connected or so fragile. The ghosts of 1914 still haunt today's markets. When central banks print trillions temporarily, when debt ceilings keep rising, we are replaying that same script. Back then, gold was temporarily suspended. Now, reality is, temporary fixes become permanent dependence. Every financial crisis, from the Great Depression to 2008, echoes that first moment when money lost its anchor. Real wealth isn't numbers on a screen. It's knowledge, resilience, and independence of thought. Money once represented gold. Now it represents belief. And belief, when broken, destroys everything built on it. World War I taught governments they could fund the impossible if people trusted the illusion. It taught them that propaganda can sell bonds and that citizens will sacrifice their savings for promises. Every era repeats the same pattern, and every time the ordinary saver pays the price. The real war never ended. It simply changed shape, from trenches to trading floors, from rifles to interest rates. Remember, money isn't real because it's printed. It's real because we believe in it. And belief is the most fragile currency of all.